here are he, him, and for those of you who are regulars to the channel, you may recognize him from our Wednesday night streams where I play Ding, the grumpy old wizard who has made and continues to make questionable choices. But tonight, I will be your GM or keeper as I run my lovely, lovely Ookie Spooky Girl players through our Monster of the Week campaign. Before we get started, I would like to thank our producer Erica, as well as our tech jockey Courtney, for helping make this stream possible, along with 5% Chance as a whole. Tonight's stream, just like every stream, is sponsored by Checkwood Woodworking, where you can buy some very nice dice trays, or dice boxes, or really anything made out of wood. If he doesn't carry it, you could probably commission it. If you use the code 5% chance at checkout, you will get 10% off your order. And so now, and that's because 5% doesn't get you anything. Like, that doesn't even cover the tax. It's not worth it. But now I will pass it over to our Ookie Spooky Girls here and let them introduce themselves, starting with our spookiest girl, Ian. So go ahead and tell us your name, your character, and where we can find you on the internet.
Sure. Hi, my name is Ian DePriest. I'm honored to be the spookiest girl. My character's name is Morgan. You can find me on the internet literally anywhere. If you just search Ian DePriest, I should pop up. I am a voice actor, singer-songwriter, TTRPG player, streamer, everything and everywhere, all at once, on Twitter and Instagram, Spotify, whatever is to your liking and to your choosing. Morgan Yun's pronouns are they, them. My pronouns are he, they. And I think I answered all the questions. I don't know. I jumbled them in my brain. I was so surprised.
I think you got it. Go and pass it to whoever you would like. Pass the spooky along.
Okay, we're passing the spooky along to Nikki because you're the one that helped me contain my spooky.
Hello there, I'm Nick Ide, and I will be playing Lee Teng An, or just An to people who don't know her, which is most people that she doesn't consider friends. And yeah, she's a Buddhist shaman who has ended up in Seattle trying to solve its little problems. And we shall see how that turns out. And I think that's about it for now. And
I think so. So go and pass it along.
Yeah. All right. Pass it on to Anne.
Hello, my name is Anne. My pronouns are she, her. I will be playing Detective Carmen Rivera, the gumshoe, who is not spooky nor magical as far as she knows, and she's just trying her best. DJ, why don't you wrap us up with the intros?
Yeah, hi y'all. I am DJ. You can find me on Twitter mostly at DJ_PQ. Only find me if you like sarcasm, TTRPG, or DEI, diversity and equity work, because I do all of those. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Hector Salas, whose pronouns are also he, him. I am the spell slinger, so magic, there's a problem, magic is the answer.
Fantastic. And before we get started tonight, this game will include topics such as blood, body horror, demons and monsters, descriptions of shamanistic rituals including animal sacrifice, aquatic monsters, general horror themes, and a dark atmosphere. So we've established safety tools with the players to make sure everyone is comfortable, so they can let me know if there's ever any problems. But if at any time any of you in the audience are having trouble here on Twitch, having trouble with the content, feel free to stop watching. There will be a recorded version of the stream available on Twitch for the next 2 weeks, and there will also be an edited version posted over on the 5% Chance YouTube channel where you can skip around in case there's anything that gives you trouble. So don't feel bad, keep that in mind, and most of all, just remember to have fun. That's why we're all here. So, without further ado, our story begins on a beautiful Seattle day. I know that's hard to believe, but it does happen. It's not always raining. Sometimes there's sun. So the sun is shining on the waves, crashing against the city's piers. And on this rare sunny day, we find our hunters at work in the Seattle Paranormal Investigations Agency, nestled quite cozily between a Utilikilt store and a vintage women's clothing shop in Pioneer Square. Now, who would be the last person into the agency? Who's probably the last person to show up to work? What do y'all think?
I'll say probably me.
Okay. Fantastic. So on, you come in, and everybody's there. Hector, Carmen, Morgan, you're all kind of waiting around, waiting for On to get there so that you can hear what the store manager Dirk has in store for you for the day. As you all finally show in, from the back you hear this gruff old man's voice. Is that the last of them? Are you all here now?
Yeah, I think so.
Great. This old man shuffles out. Dirk is honestly, when you look at Dirk, you see more hair than anything else. It's like long beard, long hair, long eyebrows. Like, you think you've maybe seen the twinkle of his eyes behind those eyebrows once or twice, but nobody's really sure. And he's got, we'll call it an eclectic sense of style. Today he is shuffling out in a freshly bought utilikilt from next door, along with the brightest Hawaiian shirt you've ever seen. Which, if anyone doesn't know what a utilikilt is, if you decided to mix a kilt with cargo shorts, you would get a utilikilt.
Okay.
Interesting.
So Dirk shuffles out of the back for you, with a couple of manila folders, because he doesn't trust technology and therefore still keeps all of his files on paper. And he kind of tosses them down on the counter. All right, so we got 3 cases in today. Pick whatever you want. I'd say the other teams would take care of them, but you and I both know you're the only people that work here. So,
I want to raise them.
Bring me more money, and then you'll get a raise.
I didn't realize we were getting paid for
No,
this.
we aren't. That's the problem.
Oh. Got it.
It was clearly posted as an internship when you signed up. When you finish your internship, then maybe you'll get a detective position like Carmen, where you will get a consultation fee.
Okay.
An just keeps
It
quiet
pays-
that she's getting paid.
It pays to be a professional.
I like to imagine An sort of like haggled until she gets like quite a sizable amount of salary, and then just keeps it to herself. Even her apprentice doesn't get as much as her. That's the kind of person she is.
Absolutely.
But your apprentice gets paid still?
Yeah, a stipend of like $4 per hour or something.
It's for living expenses.
Yes. Yep, all the groceries, he handles it for me. His salary is for my groceries.
That's not okay.
Yeah, no, it is not okay. Disclaimer, I do not endorse this type of... just put it out there. Just in case.
Right. Also, unpaid internships shouldn't exist. I will also put that out there. But,
Yep.
so, the 3 cases that you have available at the moment that you can go whichever direction you would like. There is something happening down in Pike Place and also on the waterfront of Seattle. You've had some requests come in from the International District, and you've also had some requests from Fremont come in, which is a little further outside your usual range, but there's also money up there, so when the request comes in, Dirk sends you guys. So, where would y'all like to start? Do you want to go to the market and the waterfront, to the International District, or take a trip to the richer side of town?
Is there any other details besides the location?
Absolutely. Would you like to hear the full brief for each of these?
Sure.
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
All right.
Give us the full brief for the one where the rich people are.
One where the rich people are. Okay. So up in Fremont, You've had some reports of pets disappearing, and some say that there's been an eagle taking them. However, there's also been some missing large breed animals like German Shepherds and a Mastiff. So the eagle is getting harder and harder to believe. There's also been some reports of whaling at night near Green Lake, and someone has complained about startups in the area seeing sudden explosive success. It's really just like one guy that's like, they're making money too fast, and he's pretty sure they're doing some kind of magic ritual to do so. Jerk did kind of leave a note next to that one of, this is just one particularly loud complaint from one particularly loud citizen up there, but might be worth looking into if you're in the area.
Okay. What about the international district?
Absolutely. So in the international district, there has been kind of just a rash of disappearances. Residents have mentioned catching glimpses of something like a small flying shadow accompanied by the smell of vinegar at night. And there's also been mentions of some strange shuffling noises at night, along with just like really like stiffly moving people, like people moving along very jerkily at night, which is not usual of drunk people. Like drunk people move weird, but it's usually because it's more fluid than it should be, not because it's too rigid.
Okay. And lastly,
Yes.
The waterfront,
Lastly,
right?
we have
Pike
the
Place.
waterfront and Pike Place. So there's been strange sounds of like scraping metal and hoofbeats along Post Alley near Pike Place at night, along with weird shadows flickering across the moon. Down on the waterfront, dock workers have been complaining of bindings getting cut and boards being eroded on the docks where they're trying to work. And a few of the dock workers have recently disappeared, and some swear they hear singing on the waterfront at night, but there hasn't been any confirmation of that.
Hmm. Well, two of these
What
have.
do you guys think?
I mean, I don't know anything about this. I'm just here because you guys are helping me with my weird thing. If I helped you, so I'm not a detective. I'm just following your footsteps.
I'm apparently an intern. I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay.
I
Well,
say we go to one of these with the disappearances.
One of the ones with
Yeah.
disappearances.
Yeah, the waterfront and the international district.
Okay. So those are both, they're roughly the same distance from where you guys are at in Pioneer Square. It's basically just whether or not you're moving vaguely south or vaguely more north towards the waterfront. So which way would you like to go? Would you like to head into the International District and see what's going on there, or go check out the tourist trap that is Pike Place, but also like decent food and sometimes decent prices?
Morgan's very much tagging along. They don't feel like they have enough authority to make such big decisions for a group. And they're just like here because they're just wandering and trying to find answers of their own. So Morgan will not really pick unless someone picks for them, or unless they are pushed to pick. So they kind of just like look at all this, take it all in, nods, kind of just stares at Detective Carmen, and goes, do you like any of these places or the international district? Or...
you know, I'm
are-
definitely feeling the international district, and she looks like she's visibly nervous every time the waterfront is mentioned.
Okay. Sure, yeah. You're the detective, so whatever you say. You know how to do these things. I'm just here to help.
Yeah. And you're the one with the car, so we have to go where you drive us.
Yeah, you know what? Let's start with the international district, and then So wait, the tourist trap place is by the harbor front, correct?
Hmm.
Yeah, so Pike Place is maybe 2 blocks up, or just up one hill essentially from the waterfront.
Okay. Yeah, let's prioritize the international district, and then if we have time today, I'll buy you guys food by the harbor.
I'm holding you to that.
Oh, thanks.
Alright.
You didn't have to. Thank you.
And then
Yes.
Hector smiles. Thank you, Kurt.
and she's just gonna
let's-
yeah, she's just gonna snap her
listen,
finger and go, Eugene, fetch our bags. Yeah, our ritual bags. And then I'm already heading out to the car. And then my apprentice just goes and fetch my stuff.
God, she is the worst, but also the best. Carmen, Carmen drives a I want to say like a station wagon. Like she doesn't have a lot of money. She has a job, but she just drives an old station wagon that was like handed down to her from her family somewhere. Which is nice because she doesn't have to like pay for a brand new car, and it works, and it fits her team and all of the team stuff in the trunk. So she doesn't have a fancy car, but it gets the job done.
Oh, out of curiosity, what are your typical appearances for your characters? Like, what are their like fashion choices?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I haven't described my character. Yeah, Carmen is in her usual professional outfit. She's wearing like a suit jacket with like a kind of really plain looking white blouse. She looks very professional, and matching slacks, just very kind of standard generic detective at this point. Because she went straight from her day job to whatever this is.
I would say Morgan is a tan Asian person with kind of long hair, but the sides are like cut, like buzzed cut, so it almost looks like a weird faux hawk. And they have like blue undertones in their black hair. They're probably wearing like a band T-shirt, and they have like ripped black denim jeans and Doc Martens on. And for the last little thing on them, for on when you helped kind of Morgan with their spooky powers, would you give them kind of like an amulet or something to like manage it or anything like that? Or
If the ritual didn't work right, I think we established like it
it
didn't
like calmed
contain.
things down, but like it still, yeah, it didn't like solve the problem. I
In
just
that
was
case,
wondering.
I
Yeah.
think they would. I think she would have given you like this Fulu talisman that she just says fold it and put it inside your pocket and just keep it there at all times. If the paper starts turning black, tell me, I'll give you a new one.
Cool, perfect. So with that like paper talisman, you'll occasionally see Morgan like flip through their little pocket, and they've kind of like folded it into one of those like choice four things, choose like
Oh
the
yeah.
paper. the storytelling things. So like they've taken that talisman and folded it into that, and will occasionally just like play with it just to make sure that it's not black and also that it's still going. And so they just, is you are moving away and everyone's kind of deciding what to do. They're just like waiting. They have nothing on them. They're just like there. There's no backpack. It's just them. Um, they are, they look like they could be in college or just got out of college, one of the two, you know.
All right, and DJ, you want to go first?
Yeah. So Hector has lived in Seattle for a little bit of time, but he's originally from California. He's Mexican American, brown eyes, like darker hair, pretty wavy, but kind of pulled back. It's long on top and pulled back into like not a man bun, but like could be going that way. Has fully adopted the Seattle attire of faux lumberjacking, so has plaid and like our hearts on of all things, and some decent boots. But what looks out of place is a worn bomber jacket. It's a black bomber that's thrown over it, and and Carmen would know that in the pocket of the bomber, of the inside pocket, he has a ritual knife on him, and always a big like foci amulet on as well. So big chunky necklace.
And for An, she is a Chinese woman, about like late 20s, and has like long black hair tied into a tight ponytail. And she is dressed very stylishly, like upper class kind of outfit. Not there. All of you have, whenever you see her, like she will always be complaining about money and how expensive everything is. But then she's just dressed in like branded stuff, like those overcoat with those handbag. I do not know any brand's name, so insert generic brand names here. Does not dress like a shaman or anything related to that aspect at all. Just looks like some rich woman, most of the case. And her apprentice, Eugene Wong, the most generic Asian name you can think of. He looks like a playboy, like very lean and lanky, very K-pop physique. And then he has like that Asian fuckboy hairstyle, like shaved at the side with the hair sort of like flopping forward a little bit.
I like those vibes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, and he just follows Anna around, carrying dragging the two luggages of containing our like ritual clothing and the equipment. And he doesn't speak unless spoken to.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's dressed like in tees and slacks.
Okay.
No sign of money on him.
All right. So y'all are heading out to the International District, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. So you all walk out of the shop into Pioneer Square, which is it's this old commercial district. It is like the oldest part of Seattle. So you've got, shops and restaurants all around you. In the middle is kind of like an open space. It's sort of a park, except it's all paved. But in the middle, there is the big maple tree kind of growing that offers some shade to, like I said, essentially this small park with an old cast iron pergola running along the side of it. And as you probably walk about a block and a half to get to Carmen's car, because that's the closest place that you can park without paying way more than is affordable. There's aging bits of glass just in the cement as you're walking over it. So you all head to this old reliable vehicle and buggy on over to the International District. Carmen, go ahead and roll plus your cool. Let's see how well driving in Seattle goes.
First
And
roll of the
navigating on
game.
one-way streets. Yeah.
Let's go.
Deal the dice, you crash, we all die. End of session. Our fate is in your hands.
I believe
I don't
in
know
you.
how well this is gonna go. A 7.
7. Okay, so that is a success. It's not a resounding success, but you make it there mostly without making any traffic violations. You definitely blow through a stop sign because it's like inside of a tree that you didn't notice. But you make it there. You almost turn down a one-way street the wrong direction, but catch yourself and navigate around before managing to get to sort of the heart of the International District, which is a large Asian food and gift market called Uwajimaya. So you're able to park. There's a little kind of dirt parking lot in what probably used to be a building that got torn down, and they were just like, whatever, just throw some lines down. It's a parking lot now. So you park, you pay, like $3 for an hour of parking, and then head on over to Uwajimaya. Well, I guess I should ask you all: are you gonna go into the gift market? That's probably the best place to meet like a mass number of people. But you can also investigate around the streets if you would like.
Do we know specifically where the disappearances were happening? Like any concentration, or is it like just spread out all over the place?
It's spread out all over the place, but most of them do seem to be happening kind of in the heart of International District here near Uwajimaya and Hinghe Park, which is nearby. Those seem to have the most disappearances, but it is pretty widespread. There's a couple other spots that seem to have like a bed of activity to them, but mostly here.
Do we want to split up and some of us can go into Ujimai and some of us could go to the park? Or
I'll take the park.
I'll come with you. As knowing the park has less people, Morgan just like immediately chooses that.
Oh, good. You can help Eugene with the luggage.
Oh, sure.
No. You can use your apprentice how you would like. Morgan, you're not an apprentice. You're not an indentured servitude.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Sure. I will follow.
She makes a face at you behind her branded sunglasses that she's now wearing.
Hector isn't paying attention.
Okay, so On and Morgan are headed to the park. Carmen and Hector, are you both going to go check out Uwajimaya, or are you going to go with them?
Looks at Hector with like a concerned look, and from all of the time that Hector has known Carmen, he knows that she's got some really weird superstitions, and she tries to avoid the waterfront is one thing that he knows, and the other thing is that he feels very uncomfortable splitting up the group. And she just says, I guess it would be more effective if we covered more ground, but I don't know if we should leave them to their own devices.
I'm good either way. I mean, I think you and I would be more effective. Well, you would be more effective talking to people comparatively, but I understand. It's our line of work gets weird, and sometimes it's better to be together.
And my line of work also gets dangerous, so weird plus dangerous makes me a very paranoid person.
Shall we follow?
But you know what? We should probably try to cover more ground. So we'll do a quick turn. We'll do a quick turn, and then we'll go to the park and make sure that they're okay.
Hector nods and starts walking.
Fantastic. So we will follow we'll follow On and Morgan first as you two head over to the park. So you guys definitely do the all right. So we'll see you when we meet back up, and then walk the same direction for a minute because you've parked on the opposite side of Ujamaya from the park. So there's that awkward moment of like, yep, definitely already said our goodbyes. But
Did you want to come with us? As we're walking.
No, we're going this way, and she points into the building as
Oh.
the park's on the other side.
Got it. I'm sorry. I thought we were. Got it. I understand what's happening now. And continues to walk. Kind of walks a little bit faster, stands next to Eugene, and says, "Do you actually need help with the bag, Eugene?"
Wait, do I roleplay Eugene or do you do it?
I'll let you roll with it unless you want me to roleplay Eugene, but that is your call.
No, I'll let you.
All right. Eugene looks at you in surprise that someone is being nice to him. I was like, I guess that'd be kind of cool.
Sure. I'll do my best. I'm not really a very strong person, but I can help you.
He offers you like the smallest bag of what he's carrying. It's more like a pouch than a bag, but that is what he offers.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, if you need any, I will take care of this, and just like holds it very preciously.
Yeah, from the front without turning around. I'm just as careful with that. It's very volatile.
Okay, then maybe I shouldn't hold this.
It's fine. You already hold it.
Not with my
It's
thing
too
goes
late to
weird.
change hands now.
Okay, my
Don't
hand
jostle
weird.
it too much.
My
And she's saying, "Oh, this without looking at you." Nope, don't jostle it. Yes, like that. Keep your fingers
okay.
there. Okay.
Okay, I'm not worried about my hands. I'm worried about the thing that happens sometimes. But okay, I'll just not move my hands. And it's just this until the park.
As you walk, Eugene does like move over a little and very slowly raise his hand and be like, I can take it back if you don't want to."
I tend to break things unintentionally, so here you go. And I give it back to Eugene. I'm sorry, I can hold something else that's not like breakable.
It's fine. It's all good. She's gonna make a scene no matter what I give you.
Okay.
And he's just gonna kind of like stuff the bag into a chest pocket. Definitely not being delicate. Just like stuffs the bag into like a chest pocket.
Perfect.
As you get past the front of the building, Hinghey Park, it's just like the next block over. And it's a pretty small park. It's got like concrete walkways kind of winding through, just planters with a variety of trees and bushes and flowers. It's more like a rec space than a park, really. I feel like park implies grass, and there's not much of that. It's more like a rec space with just kind of like a big archway. There we go. A big art piece archway near the entrance of it. And there's a few people kind of wandering around through it. There's what looks like a couple relaxing at one of the tables there, sharing a meal. There is someone walking around in, honestly, the best way you could think to describe it would be a superhero suit. It is like a full, like, he's wearing like a full black morph suit underneath all of this. It looks like you can't see anything of the person inside of there, but has this like magenta and white leather armor suit over the top of it.
Okay.
Kind of confidently strolling his way through the park, like giving like a weird two-finger salute to people and like waving as he walks around.
I'm just
Do I know-
watches him pass.
Do I know if there's like a con happening in
Yeah.
Seattle? If this is natural, normal?
Go ahead and roll plus sharp for me. Let's see.
Okay.
Can recall anything.
Okay. No, that's a 5.
It's a 5. Fantastic. Well, there's your
Experience.
game. So yeah, I mean, you don't really know the con schedules very well.
No.
It's it's just a lot of people. So you usually just try to avoid anything going on with it. As you think about it, you're like, I mean, there might be a con, but it would be weird because the convention center is like on the other side of town. But also it's Seattle, so hard to say.
I kind of mentioned this to An. I just walk up to finally catch up to her pace and go, I think there might be a con going on, but also it's normally not here. So that's person seems out of place. Um, would you like to talk to them? I'm still new to this. Do we just investigate the area or do we talk to people or
Well, you know what they say? The best experiences is when you throw yourself into the deep end of the pool. This is your time to shine. Go talk to that man
Oh.
while I scan the general vicinity.
Oh,
You
okay.
can do it. And then she does the clap your shoulder.
Oh, thanks.
I believe in you.
Sure. I start walking towards the man in the not Superman suit,
Yeah.
superhero suit.
Yeah, and basically while Morgan is doing that, Anne is just gonna start to concentrate and see if she can pick up any strange aura in the area that is
Okay.
like disturbed.
Okay, so you're going like on vibes of
Yes.
like investigating this place. Okay, so let's do that first. Go ahead and roll plus weird for me.
All right.
Let's see what kind of vibes you pick up from this place.
Oh no, I rolled a 6.
Oh, there's the second experience for the
Oh.
week. Making
Love
your way
it.
towards that next advancement. So yeah, on you start, trying to suss out the vibes. And it's like you feel like you're almost getting something. There's like a hint of a smell that's almost coming to you, and like a pressure in your head, and you almost have it. And then Eugene coughs behind you and like shuffles a bunch of bags and totally breaks your concentration.
She just does
Sorry.
a sigh.
I'm sorry. Did I throw you off?
It's fine. I'll pick it up again. It'll just take a while. There's too much background noise here.
Which, as you're, you start getting back into the zone, Eugene does kind of shuffle off and seems to be looking at something in one of the planters. But
What do you see? Oh yeah, we'll go to Morgan first. All right.
Yeah. So, as this is happening, we'll jump over, and Morgan, you're approaching this superhero student individual.
He's like
He's like
saluting people.
Kind of like he's doing the like very much hamming it up like he's a superhero. In fact, as you approach him, he does the like, it's not actually a wave, he just kind of raises his hand at you and he goes, "Hello, citizen. How can I help you?"
Hi. I was just wondering what you were doing here. Are you going to the con that's here in town?
I think you might have your weekends confused. Con is next weekend.
Oh, so you're here early.
Oh no. I'm Jimmy Sparks. I'm out here on patrol.
Oh. Why are you patrolling?
I strive to emulate my goal, my hero, Phoenix Jones. And he hasn't really been active here lately, and I'm not making this up. There was a superhero named Phoenix Jones in Seattle. You can look him up.
I just looked it up and it's actually real.
I'm not making this up.
Did we all simultaneously Google this when he mentioned it, like in concert? Oh man.
But he's hasn't been able to be active lately, and I just feel that the streets of Seattle were better with someone protecting them, so I'm trying to take up that mantle.
Oh, I see. So you're also here for the disappearances.
I've been hearing a bit about that, and I figured, maybe maybe a little authoritative presence here, but not the gross kind of authoritative, like a friendly authoritative presence might help hold that at bay. And he absolutely like strikes the superhero pose, like chest out, slightly turned at the angle so the sun hits him just right.
Oh,
Uh,
well, have you found anything, if you don't mind me asking?
I've been trying to get some leads. Oddly enough, people don't seem to want to talk to me. I'm not sure why, but
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Um,
but I I have been able to figure out there's an alleyway, not well, there's a couple of alleyways around here where a lot of these disappearances seem to be centered around.
I
And
see.
I can't figure out where they go. Like I
Where,
hear about these disappearances and then I kind of try to follow the trail, but once I get to these alleys, it's like they're gone. They disappeared. I don't really know what's up with that.
the alleys disappear or the trail disappears?
The trail disappears.
Okay,
I mean,
I
I
was
guess maybe the alley is disappearing and that's why I can't figure out where they went, but that would seem odd.
yeah, I mean, I'm I'm a little new to the city, so I'm not entirely sure. Sometimes roads can be weird and then they become other roads out of nowhere. So I thought you meant like, oh, the alley just became another road, not that like a person's
Well,
trail.
there's a lot of that too. There's
Oh,
definitely a lot of that. Uh,
okay.
I thought I was in an alley and I was almost hit by a car last week.
I'm so sorry. Um,
That's fine. I was able to dodge it with my impressive reflexes.
oh, cool. I'm so happy for you. Um, do you know which alleys you've already searched? Or
Yes. Are you hoping to figure out what's going on as well?
yes, yes. Do I know if it's like kosher for me to like say what I represent, like the Seattle Paranormal Investigations or not? Like,
Yeah. You've heard everybody ask Dirk about things like this before, and every time Dirk just kind of goes, "Just don't make me look like an ass." Uh,
okay. Then I'll say, yeah, I'm actually part of an investigation team. And we are also looking into the disappearances here. So um, perhaps we could help each other out, or um, at least try to make the space safer again.
that would be fantastic. I would love to join forces with you and your investigation team.
Oh, well, I don't have the final say in those things. I'm actually kind of an intern, but I could refer you to our boss. He's very nice.
Well, sure. I could do with networking. I always like to meet new business owners and
Sh-
people
Yeah.
in the
Do you
area.
do you have a phone number, a card, or something to get a hold of you?
Uh, he he pulls out like you know how in the old Batman Robin movie there was like the Bat credit card and like the
Yeah.
Bat wallet and all that. He definitely pulls out a little like business card snapbook branded with like it's made out of like the same leather that his armor stuff is with the same designs on it. And snaps it open and pulls out a very professional looking card for you that just says Jimmy Sparks in like very slanted kind of electric looking letters across the front. And on the back, it's got like a web page, an email address, and
Oh,
a phone line.
oh, perfect. Thank you. I'll definitely pass this along. Could you tell me where the alleys you were looking for again were?
Yes, absolutely. Uh, most of them seem to be like right over here, and he points at basically the street on the other side of the park from Ujamaya, and there are like two or three alleys along here down between the buildings. And he's like, those two alleys up that way seem to be the ones I'm having the most trouble with. That one there just has a really angry cat in it, so like be careful if you go down it. But it didn't seem like there's anything else weird going on there, just an angry cat. But
Of
those
course.
two, I just keep losing the trail.
All right. Thank you so much. My name is Morgan, by the way. Uh, it is a pleasure to meet you, and I hope you have a good time protecting this place.
Pleasure to meet you, Morgan. And he gives you. Did you like offer your hand? Actually, he would stick
No.
his hand out for a handshake.
Morgan is very awkward, and because of Morgan's past, doesn't necessarily like to touch things or people in case bad things happen. So in the extension of a hand, um, Morgan just kind of freezes for a moment, um, nods and bows, and says, "Thank you. I actually have to report to someone really quickly. I'm sorry, I gotta go," and like dips very fast.
Yeah, as soon as you like look and start bowing, he pulls the hand back and gives you weirdly stiff bow, but like the intent is there. It's
Yeah.
just he's also wearing a basically leather armor. He's not a very fluidly moving person at the moment. But gives you like a quick bow and strides off, continuing to make his hellos and just his presence known.
Wonderful. I head back to On.
Fantastic. So on you're with Eugene, and we will jump back to that after we take a look at what's going on with Carmen and Hector in Uwajimaya. So, as you guys walk in to this huge shopping center, like it looks like it's about 4 blocks of the city that are just all covered by this one huge structure. A large portion of this complex is filled by a grocery store. Like as you walk in, the back right corner, there's a grocery store. Straight back, there's looks like a pretty decently sized bookstore. Everything else between you is just food. It is just restaurants. It smells amazing when you walk in here. There's foods from all kinds of cuisine, and you are just assaulted by the smells as you walk in, immediately making you hungry, even though you probably ate not that long ago. There's people kind of wandering around back and forth here, going to the food stalls, going in and out of the grocery store. Up above all of the stores is like a bunch of apartments that people live in. So yeah, would you like to check out any of these stores in particular? There is at the back between the grocery store and the bookstore, there's a weird little door that's like right in the corner between the two, that just says tea over the top of it. So it looks like there might be a tea room or tea shop back there.
I would actually like to see about maybe talking to security, maybe seeing if they could, if they've seen anything on the cameras, or if anything weird has happened. I imagine that professionally, if things were going down at the mall, Carmen would interface with whoever's working in security.
Absolutely. So you look around for security guard and go ahead and roll plus sharp for me. And Hector, you can roll as well if you would like to.
Oh, dang! I rolled a 12.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why
so
she's
you-
the detective.
Right. You scan this place and immediately pick out like every single person of authority in here. Like you find like 3 security officers and you're pretty sure a manager.
It's like there's the manager of that store and the manager of that store and supervisor over there. And I'm gonna go up to one of the security guards, and I'm just gonna casually walk up to him and I'm gonna say, "Hey, Victor, what's up? Here to investigate some of the disappearances that have been happening in this area." Is your boss in? Supervisor?
Oh, yo. Hey, Carmen. Yeah, I think George is in the office. I can give him a call if you want me to.
Yeah, give him a heads up that I'm here. We'll be up to see him.
All right, sounds good. And he pulls it. You expect him to like pull out a radio? He just pulls out his cell phone and like sends a text and then puts it back in his pocket. He's like, he knows you're coming. You know the way there. And you do.
Yep.
It's just you just tuck back around behind some of these restaurants. Specifically, you walk past the Pho King, and then it's kind of back there.
Is it by the tea shop or the place with the tea sign? Is it in the corner?
absolutely. So the tea shop is in the corner. On the opposite corner is the Pho King, of the grocery store entrance, and there's like a walkway between the Pho King and the grocery store that you can tuck back into, and that's where the security office is at.
Yep.
Do you want me with you, or should I look somewhere else?
I mean, if you think you've got any ideas or any leads, you're free to act independently on it, and we can just meet back at the exit if that's what you wish to do. I'm not your boss.
Fair. I'm gonna head to the tea shop, so stop by there when you're done, and if I'm not there, I'll be by the front.
Okay, good plan.
Okay. So we'll follow Carmen back to the security office.
Yep.
Do you make your way directly there? Or are you kind of looking around as you go? Is there anything else you're doing?
I think I'm gonna start with the security office, and hopefully get leads from there. Get a better sense of what's been going on.
Okay. Absolutely. So you head back to the security office and open up the door, and George is in there, and George is he's in shape because round is a shape. Big old beer gut, like bald head with the horseshoe haircut.
Wow.
Absolutely, like acts like he's still tough and in shape, but it's probably been a few years.
Contrast to Carmen's youthful Filipina features, where she's actually in her early 30s, but looks like she's in her early 20s. It's a gift.
Yeah, no, George looks like he's 50. He's like 35.
Yeah, that's legit though. Yeah, so Carmen does the thing where she opens the door, but like she pokes her head in and knocks on the door like, "Hey George, guess who?"
What? Oh, Carmen, come on in. Vincent told me you were here. How you doing?
Yeah, hey. So, I heard people have been disappearing in this area.
Yeah, there's been a bit of that. Is that why you're out here? Are you trying to figure that out with that, I don't know, whatever that ookie spooky group is you're with?
Hey, listen. I like to look at the situation from a number of different angles. It's what makes me good at what I do. You know that?
I can't argue with it. You get results, so.
In any case, I just wanted to see how things were going from your perspective. Maybe go over some camera footage with you. I mean, you're the head of security here. You must have a bit of an eye on things.
Yeah, I've been combing over the stuff myself. And he kind of waves you around, and you can see, like, on his screen, he's got several security feeds that it looks like he's been scrolling through. And he's like, these disappearances keep happening, like, over there in Hayden Park, or, like, right outside the doors, and I figured we'd catch something, but it's like, I don't know, the cameras glitch out every time, like, couple minutes before it was supposed to happen, and he kind of scrolls back, and you see a pretty good view of the park, over next to Ujmaya, and it runs totally fine until 10:02 the night before, and then all of a sudden cuts to static and like gets all glitchy. It's not full static because it's not like a tube TV anymore, but it's that very heavily pixelated like digital glitch. Kind of runs across the screen for about 3 minutes, and then cuts back, and the people that were walking through the park are just gone.
Okay. You're right. That's really weird. Do you mind sending me copy of that footage in particular? I would like to get a few sets of eyes on this just to see if people might know what this is about.
Yeah, sure. You got more resources than I do. Whatever. I'm supposed to get like some kind of a warrant or something, but yeah, you do good work. It's fine. I'll send you the whole batch of them from around the disappearances. See if you can make any sense of it.
Well, you know how we operate. I won't tell if you won't tell.
Yeah, it's worked for me so far. That's why I still got a job.
You know I got your back.
And so yeah, he sends that over to you. And as you go, he's like, none of the families have been talking to me, so I don't really know what their story is, but there's been a couple of weird characters hanging around here. One person in particular that keeps going in and out of that tea shop down there. I don't necessarily know if they're involved. They're just, I don't know. Something's off about them. Every time they come in here, I lose my stapler and I can't find my coffee cup, and I don't know. It's probably just coincidence, but it keeps happening.
Listen, if anyone's going to believe you, it'll be me. There's only so much coincidence before it becomes something else, right?
Yeah, it's true enough.
Well, if you see or hear anything else that think might be of note, you know how to get in touch.
Yeah, I got your number and you got mine.
And as Carmen is addressing George, she is doing that thing where she is basically texting like on autopilot, and it's, she's very proficient at this, and sends a message to Hector that just says, keep an eye out for weird, sketchy people in the tea shop. And then I have an idea of what to do with the footage, but I don't know if I can do that here just yet. But I will head towards the tea shop where Hector is.
Yeah, so as you send that message to Hector to watch out in the tea shop, we will cut over to Hector, making his way into this tea shop, and you walk in, and it's a tea shop, sure enough. It's a very nice tea room on the inside. Lots of like deep reds and very plush like seats and pillows. There's a mix of like, there's kind of a bar style counter you can sit at, and then there's some like booths along the side, and there's also some more traditional like tables with just cushions on the floor that you can sit at if you want to. But as you walk in, bell chimes, and you hear a woman from the back go, "Oh, just a moment, I'll be right with you." Just go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Grab a seat wherever you like.
I'll grab a booth, kind of not directly in line of sight of the doors or anything.
Okay. So just like a little ways in and off to the side. Okay.
Yep.
Fantastic. So yeah, you grab a booth and um the woman you heard from the back comes out, um and she is a very beautiful woman, like just very traditionally beautiful with very long black hair, wearing like a white blouse, um, kind of blouse top with like a sundress skirt to it. Looks very comfortable, very pretty, I guess would be how you could describe her style. It's got little floral patterns stitched into it, but it's just all in white. Um, but she comes out and goes, "Hi, I'm Susan. How can I help you?"
Hi, Susan. Um, do you serve chai?
Absolutely, we do. It's a lot of people like it. Give me just a minute, and I'll be right back with that. And she takes off behind that kind of like bar area into what you assume is a kitchen. And you hear, like a little bit of clattering back there.
While she's gone, I'm gonna kind of do what On tried to do in the park and like just do a vibe check of. This seems like comparatively to some of the other spaces, like it's a little more private. And if there's some weird shenanigans happening, stuff might get stuck here. So I want to see if there's anything I should be worried
Absolutely.
about.
So go ahead and roll plus weird for me.
Well, that's also a 6.
Damn.
Okay.
We are earning all the experiences right now.
Yep, we're up to 3.
Love it. Love to see it.
So as you kind of settle it and start attuning yourself to this place, and much like with On outside, like you start feeling it, and you don't really feel any weird smells here, but it's like you almost feel this like tickle on your nose starting, and you're almost there, and you feel like you've almost got something when Susan comes back with a teapot and some cups and sets them down in front of you, begins pouring you some tea. It's like, here is your chai. Hope you've been enjoying yourself so far today.
It's okay. It's busy.
Well, that makes one of us. It's been a rather quiet day here today, but what brings you in? You're not one of my regulars.
No, it's actually one of my first times here, and I am always on the lookout for a new space.
Well, I am very happy you decided to stop in. Haven't been here long, but I've accrued a few regulars that are helping keep us afloat for now. But I always welcome more people in my home here.
Your home? I don't hear many people refer to a place of work as their home.
It's been a bit of a labor of love getting this place set up. It's been a dream for a lot of years to just, have a space where people can come and relax and unburden themselves.
Like a sip of the chai and been saying a tea shop is a good place to do that.
It is. It's it's almost like a bar, just with fewer intoxicants, but there's still that almost therapy vibe to it sometimes.
Yes, 100%. So he'll sit there for another moment, and before she leaves, how long have you been here?
Oh, just a couple months now. We opened up in, oh gosh, February, I think, middle of February, and it's April now, so about 2 months, give or take.
Thinking back to the brief that we got, do we have a kind of timeline of when these disappearances started?
Yeah, the reports you've been getting, I mean, there's always disappearances and like weird stuff happening in the city, but they've really taken off within the last like week or two, it seems like. But tell you what, roll me plus sharp real quick. See
That's a
kinda
12. I'm gonna just
Hey,
vacillate between
look
everything.
at that. You, because you are a very dutiful person, happen to have been looking at just crime rates and stuff in the city. You know, you like to keep an eye on that for when these cases come in, and you know that disappearances in this area, disappearances in this area have been steadily increasing for the last like 2 or 3 years, and it's been a bit at like an exponential rate kind of thing where like it was increasing, and in the last probably 3 or 4 weeks it's kind of like past that curve in the graph and it's starting to really jump up there. So fairly recently that they've really taken off, but if you look at it, you're like, it's been kind of a slow build up to this.
Well, it's too bad that you are just starting here. I mean, I hope that business will pick up, given the disappearances and everything.
Yeah, I do as well. There's some superhero that's been hanging around here trying to help with that. So who knows? Maybe he'll figure something out. He's stopped in once or twice. Seems nice enough. He's ordered tea once or twice. I'm not quite sure how drinking it through his mask has gone, but he seems to enjoy it. But I do what I can for people here, and I just hope that putting out positive vibes will help kind of turn this place around.
You said you've talked to this superhero, which sounds like he's like waterboarding himself with tea, which is horrifying. Have you seen anything?
Like, of the disappearances?
Yeah.
No, I don't get out too much, but I hear from my customers, and it's a scary time, and I just hope I can. And from the back you hear somebody call out of like, "Oh, Susan, do you have to do this? We were having such a fun conversation." And you hear somebody kind of moving around in the back, shuffling to the front. Do I have to come up and socialize now? And this person is like Susan, very beautiful woman. This person is probably the most beautiful person you've ever met. Just very like sharp, clean features, kind of a narrow face, but just very, very attractive. Has strawberry blonde hair that kind of hangs down to their shoulder and wears a very loose kind of tunic style shirt, almost a little piratey looking. Has the frilly collar and everything, and the little frills at the wrists, along with a very decorative vest with tails on it, like a nice, very well dressed, and slacks, dress shoes, has lots of jewelry on, very decorated, very proud of themselves, it seems. And kind of settles into the bar across from where your booth is. It's not a huge shop, so there's not like a giant gap there. But settles in, and Susan's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I know. We were having such a nice conversation, but I can't ignore a new customer." This person just kind of rolls their eyes before offering you their hand. Kira, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Hector will take it, shake it like pretty firmly once, and just go, "Hector."
The one shake kind of takes their hand back and gives you just like a quick appreciative nod for the simple but firm handshake. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Hector. Maybe you can add a little bit of entertainment to my day. What brings you here? And Carmen, you will be allowed to enter whenever you would like along this point. This is probably about the time you would have been headed this way, so whenever you feel like popping in.
And I'll check my phone as it buzzes. Internally be like,
Yeah, this is
weird
probably
people.
about when you get that buzz of be careful.
I'm here with a colleague. We're trying to do our part about the disappearances. Know anything?
The disappearances. I hear things. Sometimes I see things, but not often. Who's to say? Maybe my eyes are playing tricks on me. It's been known to happen.
Tend to believe that the extraordinary happens and we just choose not to see it. So enlighten me. Try to see if you can stop me.
Well, I mean, there's been somebody traipsing around as a superhero, which, to be honest, I don't know how much you can trust someone like that. Too much positive machismo. I don't trust anyone that thinks they're good all the time. It's just not true. But, you know, you see the drunks stumbling home, you see them looking for entertainment during the night, and sometimes they don't come back. It's hard to say. Susan kind of rolls her eyes and swats Kira, like, kind of on the back of the head. And is like, Kira, stop being an asshole. We've talked about this. I know you think it's funny, but I'm trying to run a business here. Now you are kind enough to be a regular customer. But please stop teasing everybody that comes in here. A lot of people get fed up with it.
It's only teasing if it's
think
funny.
I think that's the point where Carmen will enter, and she'll enter. She won't immediately join Hector. She will sit at a table separate from him, but within his eye line. And she will pull out her phone, making herself look busy.
And
And
Hector and Carmen have worked together enough that like he won't blow that cover.
Okay.
Carmen will pull out her phone. I'm going to do this now before I forget. She is going to start reaching out to A, her conspiracy theorist pals, and B, her cultist pals in the area. So I'm setting up Carmen's move called the Naked City. So I'm gonna start like asking about these weird events that are happening, like the events that are depicted by the camera footage.
Okay.
And the move says you can hit them up for info to gain +1 to 1 investigate a mystery roll.
Okay.
Or for small favors. So I want to set that up that she is now reaching out to her network.
Okay. To try to get that security footage cleaned up and.
Yeah, and just like sending it out. I imagine she has a smartphone that is capable of doing it, even though she's not necessarily super rich. But yeah, she is doing this work, and now she is in the room also listening, but trying to look busy.
Okay. Yeah. Carmen, as you come in, just after Kira has been reprimanded for driving off customers, Kira will look to Susan and be like, well, look, you have another new customer. I can't be that bad, can I? Susan gives a very dramatic eye roll, and gives Kira a very quick kick in the shin before turning to see to Carmen and get you tea. whatever you might like. But Kira will turn back to Hector and just, she's such a busybody. But I suppose you have a point. If it's not fun, there's no point doing it, right? So fine. What do you want to know?
Have you seen anyone or interacted with anyone who has either disappeared or has talked really explicitly, excitedly about it?
To be honest, a lot of people around here tend to avoid me. Unless they're hitting on me, but those ones don't tell me too much about the dramatic things that are happening. But, I have heard, as I've been walking around, the owner of the fucking has had some family members disappear and keeps blaming the ramen stop next door and saying it's their fault, and, you know, the ramen stop guy is claiming he has nothing to do with it. But aside from that, there's, you know, general hubbub from the people around, and, you know, there's been some regulars in the food court that just sort of haven't been here as regularly recently, but I cannot say that I've seen any of them disappear. I've seen plenty of drunk people. I've seen plenty of them stagger down alleys they probably shouldn't. But as far as I'm aware, most of them made it home eventually.
Well, I don't know why people don't like you. You're a peach. And I can say that
Aren't I
as
just?
someone who's not hitting on you because you are, and he'll look her up and down, not my type.
They kind of nod and are like, it's fair. Suppose I can't fault someone for their taste.
Wrong tea.
They will lift their teacup to you and then take a sip. But let's see, we are at about an hour and a half right now. Did anyone want to take a quick break, or do we want to push through?
I'm
fine.
good.
Just keep going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
cool. We'll keep pushing and see where we go with this. So, we will cut back over to Morgan and An and Eugene out in the park, looking
Yes.
at whatever this is that Eugene has found. So as you come over, Eugene is staring very intently at the planter. Right
What is it?
I don't know. I think it's some dried blood, but I'm not really sure. But it smells like vinegar, which is really, really weird.
Yeah, An heads over to the planter and peeks into it. Look, pull down the sunglasses. Look at it.
Yeah, and sure enough, there on the side of the planter could be dried blood. It's, you know, it is a brownish red spot dried onto the side of the concrete of the planter, but it very, very definitely smells like vinegar, like strongly of vinegar in the area. If you would like to know a little more, you can either roll plus sharp to try to reason this out, or you can roll plus weird again to try to vibe check it.
Yes, I'll roll plus weird.
Okay.
Oh, not too bad this time. 8.
8. Okay. Fantastic. So you kind of settle in and start pulling at all the vibes in the area and trying to get a better sense. And that smell of vinegar gets stronger and stronger to the point you can almost see it. And it definitely sort of permeates the area, and you do see sort of a trail of it, or feel, I guess, a trail of it going down the alleys that were mentioned to Morgan, the two alleys on the opposite side, sort of the two alleys furthest up the block. It
So
seems to be
I'll
coming in and out, and it's because like usually when you get senses like this, it's the smell or the vibe travels at the level of the person or thing creating it. This is like it starts low here, but it goes way high. Like whatever this is took off way up there and kind of darted into the alleys. It seems like.
Yeah. I'll just say as Morgan sort of like approaches An is just like looking in the direction of the alley, which is like sort of like behind you. And then you thought that she's looking at you through the sunglasses, but her head just slowly tilts up as you get closer and closer above you.
Um, I have good news. So we might potentially have a new teammate. His name is Jimmy Sparks, and he's that guy over there that dressed like a superhero. He's not here for a convention. He's actually patrolling the area. I told him who we represent, and he gave me his card. So I don't know who's going to join us, but here it is. He did say there were weird things happening in the alley, which I think you are looking at because you just looked
Yeah.
past me. So
Yeah, she just continues looking. And then in the end, she just sort of like pats you on the shoulder. Good job, Morgan. Let's go. You don't know if she actually heard a word of what you said or not, and then she just walks towards the alley.
oh, cool, cool. I follow immediately, like wherever you're leading. I will follow your lead as you start walking towards that area.
Yes, I shall enter the alleyway.
Okay,
What do I
fantastic.
see?
Fantastic. So you two head up to these alleyways. And are you gonna go to the one like the furthest down the block, the one kind of more in the middle of the block?
I point out the two that he says he had most trouble in. As I'm talking behind her, and I say, "Yeah, it's those two." Like I think he said further down.
Yeah, it's the same two that you're getting that kind of vibe out of.
He says he tracked some people there, but then he keeps losing the trail. So I don't know what's up with that. But I could try to help you with whatever you're doing. I don't know if this will work.
Mhm.
I would like to use a move that I have.
Absolutely.
It is called Jinx. It says you can encourage coincidences to occur the way you want. When you jinx a
Okay.
target, roll plus weird. On a 10 plus, hold 2. On a 7 to 9, hold 1. On a miss, the keeper holds 2 over you to be used in the same way. And then it lists a few things I can do. One of them is
Yeah.
help a hunter, but it says giving them +1 forward by interfering with an enemy. But there's currently like no enemy. So I don't know like if I can only do that when there
It
is an enemy.
I am my own worst enemy.
in the spirit of the move being encouraging coincidences, absolutely you can do that.
Okay.
If you want to roll plus weird for me,
Yeah, sure. Let's do this. Come on. Oh, that is 9 plus 2. That's an 11.
Oh.
okay. So you get 2. So what are you hoping to accomplish with this coincidence? Are you just
I am still not the most like confident in my place in this team, so I'm always following the leader. And in
okay?
this case, it is An. So whatever
Okay.
An is about to do in this space, I want to kind of tap into that spooky, weird magic that I have to help An uh, in whatever they're about to investigate and or search for, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
and so yeah, when I think On's all about the magic vibes. I don't know if they're like searching. So if I see On like start to maybe like cast a spell or like try to hone their senses, um, you'll see that uh Morgan kind of like taps you on the shoulder and says, I can help you a little bit. And like they do like a weird twitching with their hands, like they're plucking strings in the air, um, in a few like rapid motions, and like they pull something. And in that space, an invisible kind of like ethereal thread of whether it's silk or line or something is pulled. And it's very subtle, and it helps you whatever you need to do.
I think Anne sort of looks in that area where you are plucking the air, like almost like she can see it, and then she's gonna look back at you, but her face doesn't move because only her eyes are moving behind the sunglasses. And does Anne see like any? So usually when she hones her senses, like the way she sort of like spots like rudimentary places when they're haunting is she can see like shadows clinging onto people. Does she see shadows clinging onto Morgan as they use their ability?
Go ahead and roll plus weird for me. Let's see. And you'll get the
Alright.
+1 from the jinx.
Oh, thank God for the +1. That bumps it up to 7.
Perfect.
I'm rolling shit. I'm rolling shit.
Perfect. So yes, as you're looking where Morgan is plucking with their hand, there's this kind of shadow that starts building around that hand, and on the final pluck, you almost can see like a thread or a string reverberate in the air, and that shadow starts to hum with it, and then takes off to follow these same sort of vibes that you were following before, these same sort of trails of vinegar that you were following, and turns down the alley further up the block, the alley kind of at the top of the block, and seems to just like cycle in and back out, almost like a kid or like a dog that's trying to get you to go somewhere, but is like coming back to be like, are you following? Are you following? Are you following?
And yeah,
I know
you go
I
first.
I know I can hold two, I think.
Yeah.
Can I choose one of the last two that says I think as a consequence the target loses something that you will soon find.
Okay.
So like it's a a kind of like a interesting monkey's paw situation of like I am helping you, but in return maybe On might lose something that I will find soon.
I'm
I don't know.
I'm certainly willing to roll with that.
Is that
On,
cool with
does that
you?
work for you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
This will be
Okay.
funny, I think.
Yeah. And y'all can decide what that is that's going to get lost and found.
Okay, perfect.
Whenever seems appropriate.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
So, are you two gonna go investigate the alley, or are you gonna let Hector and Carmen know what you're up to?
Yeah. I think so Anne is gonna watch the shadow and she's gonna follow the trail with her eyes,
Mhm.
and then she's just gonna say and aside to Morgan, "Good job, but keep that on the down low. We don't know
Keep-
what that effect will have on you.
Oh, the weird things I can do?
Your issue might feed off of it."
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure. Um
And
I
she says
will
it very stern, but
I'm
it's her way
sorry.
of caring, but
I
it doesn't
was
feel
just
like caring.
I think in this moment Morgan doesn't like acknowledge or even knows about that weird like shadow that you kind of see because Morgan doesn't see the way you do. So they don't necessarily understand. I think they just mean like the weirdness that they are, and they kind of slinks down a little bit and goes, yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I just could help. I know sometimes weird things happen around me. Um, yeah, without knowing anything about that shadow that just passed through them, and just follows you. Morgan doesn't text the rest of the group because Morgan just does not understand the full operation of things. So we're moving for. I'm choosing to move forward without texting, but
Yeah, same for Anne for now. She's not someone who likes to like jump the gun about this thing. She wants to figure things out before revealing all of the she doesn't do bite size basically when it comes to like
Okay.
presenting information.
Okay. Cool.
And so yes, she will follow the trail and try to attempt to gather her knowledge of like her experiences with the occult and the supernatural back in Malaysia and try to see if that can help her figure out what this thing is, like the vinegar smell, the trail, the higher up the
Absolutely.
disappearances.
So on that, you will roll plus sharp
Okay,
to
this will
try to
be.
draw on that knowledge.
This is an investigate the mystery.
Yeah, investigate a
Roll.
mystery.
All right. And do I still have the +1 forward, or is that just for one roll?
So with forward, that is one roll. Ongoing is the one that keeps
Oh,
going.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, not that idea. I rolled double 5, so 11.
Nice. Okay. So on that, it's a 10 plus, so you can hold 2, so you get 2 questions.
Okay.
So we've got what happened here, what sort of creature is it, what can it do, what can hurt it, where did it go, what was it going to do, and what is being concealed here. Or if you have another question, I'm willing to be flexible.
I feel like what sort of creature is it feels too cheap and early to figure out.
I mean, so when I answer, I might not give you a full answer, but I will at least get you into the vicinity of it.
Okay. All right. I think I'll start with where did it go first, just so I can go to like the ground zero if this trail leads to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you're kind of like following this trail and kind of sweeping with your eyes, it does, much like Jimmy was saying, it does just seem to stop in the middle of the alley. But as you're looking, you notice where it stops is a manhole down into the sewers or just under the streets somewhere. So your best guess is that it went under the streets.
She looks at it and she goes, I just bought these shoes.
Oh.
And and then she's going to for my second question, I'm going to ask yeah, what sort of creature is it? Yeah, just to
Okay.
get an idea.
Yeah. So, with the dried blood and with the smell of vinegar, you have heard stories of ancient, like, shamans or sort of like a dark sorcerers, magicians who perform a ritual where they soak themselves in vinegar to sort of transform themselves and take on a more monstrous form. And there's a few variations of this. A lot of them seem to involve at least part of the body detaching from the rest and acting independently. Thus, why there might be some blood. But with
Okay.
your
You go first.
okay, I was gonna say specifically with your background and the things you've investigated, the vinegar smell is probably the biggest thing that's given it away to you. And I may butcher my pronunciation on this, but we're gonna try our best. A penangalan is most likely what this is, and so with that, it is very much. It is a woman who, after performing this ritual, can detach her head from her body, and it will fly about doing whatever it is that she wishes to do, often in search of blood. And everything that should be internally attached to the head is still attached and just kind of hanging there.
Yeah. So as she sort of like gets that information as it as it hits her, she goes like, I just bought these shoes. And then
Wait.
she sort of like focus a bit and
Are we
goes,
going down now?
probably. No, best get the others.
Okay.
And then she sort of like gesture her hand like this. Eugene, call the others and what's it called? WhatsApp. Get them here.
You don't have to
God.
use WhatsApp. We are all on the same. Okay. I'll just text them.
Yeah.
The other two in our
Eugenia's like shuffling bags trying to get to a phone,
Yeah.
so like
Yeah.
you'll have time.
Yeah,
And
I'll
as
do it for you.
Yeah, and as that's happening, she's still looking at the manhole and sort of like she's frowning behind the sunglasses, like, How did one of you get all the way here? And she mutters that in like Cantonese just to herself.
Oh, can't.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I'll text the other two saying like, oh, in an alley found a trail of a monster. Do you explain the monster to me, or do you keep it to yourself?
For, for now, because she feels that this is easier to explain in person than through text.
Okay, found in an alley, found a trail of something down to sewer, by the park. Would you like us to meet you at the food place or stay here? Question mark. Send to the group chat.
fantastic. And as you
Smiley
send
face.
that text, we cut inside to Anne and Carmen, whose phones both go off at the same time, receiving this message.
Hector will
Good
look at his
point.
phone and kind of make eyes over at Carmen and like to glance at her phone.
Yeah, so Hector sees Carmen looking at her phone. The reply comes in and it says, actually the first thing she does is she checks to see if her phone can like pick up their signal, like if there's some kind of GPS situation.
Not to share your location.
And
Aw.
then she just says, share your location, we'll meet you there.
Perfect. Incident. Morgan, I think Morgan has already shared their location with you once before because of the incident
Yeah.
before. So Morgan just updates it and shares that location, drops a pin, exactly where they are.
Fantastic.
Like Carmen hasn't even been in the tea shop for very long. She basically hangs out for a few minutes, eavesdrops on whatever Hector and the tea ladies are talking about, and then gets the message. Immediately stands up, turns around, and leaves again, and doesn't get any tea. Just, I think it happens in that order. She just waits at the exit to the mall for Hector.
Yeah. So
Before
Carmen
going.
gets up and takes off as Susan comes back from the kitchen with like a menu of all the teas and watches Carmen walk out, sighs, and looks at Kira and goes, "What did you do? What did you do? Why did she leave? What? Kira, we've talked about this."
Hector will chuckle under his breath and not correct the situation, finish his tea, and go and pay, and tip very generously because you always tip your service workers. And look at Susan and say, "Well, you will probably have a new regular. I hope to see you soon." And then look at Kira and like just kind of nod his head and leave as well.
Kira gives you like a very lazy little wave with the fingers as you leave. Yeah. Fantastic. So you two are gonna go meet them over in the alley. Okay. So all of you meet back up over this manhole. Would you like to explain your findings for everyone?
Yes, alright. As you all approach, she just turns to you all. Oh good, you're all here. I might know what we're dealing with. And then she sort of looks at you, Carmen, just to know, Carmen is Filipino as well?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. You might be familiar with this thing. In my country, we call it a penanggalan. It is a type of creature that has the ability to detach its head from its body at night, and they usually go hunting for. Oh god, am I even allowed to say this? Stream is kind of messed up.
We'll say they go hunting for blood.
Yes, like a specific type of blood.
they prefer
I,
yes,
I-
very youthful
I-
blood. We'll say the
Yes.
fresher the better.
Or monthly blood.
Yes, that would be a way to put it too.
Yes.
Carmen just nods in recognition and just like, oh, you guys have one too. Gross.
Yes. And she'll turn to like Morgan and Hector, like, in case you don't know, this creature, when it detaches its head, it's not just the head that comes out; its organs are there as well, dangling.
Oh,
so
thank
they
you.
are not very easy to miss.
Got it. I would definitely be focused on a detached head.
Now,
Thank you for
now
the
usually,
brutal
now like
description.
now like I said, they
Um,
usually go after blood, but these are disappearing people. That is not their usual ammo. So something else is at work here. We have to be careful.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
think what happens is that Carmen shares the footage within the team. I think it might have ended up on like transferred into like a Google Drive or something for everyone to kind of check out at their leisure. But she explains about how people just disappear in the camera footage and there's no explanation for it. So yeah, I could get the conspiracy theorists, I could get the cultists. I also know a bunch of random occultists, so I mean, like, we could probably just like reach out to the, spooky underground and see what they know about all this, and if they can provide some assistance for dealing with this.
Sure. Whatever you seem fit. Oh, also potential good news. We may have a new teammate. His name is Jimmy Sparks. He provided me his card. I don't know if you saw the guy that was in armor out there. He's been patrolling the streets, and he says he wants to keep the place safe.
Oh, Susan talked about
He was,
a superhero.
Yeah, he seems really nice.
He's gonna get himself killed.
Oh,
wait, Black and Gold? Carmen, having been in Seattle for a while, would know about like Phoenix Jones, right? Like the whole thing.
Oh, absolutely. Like
Like-
it was a whole thing. You
Okay,
are very
so-
aware.
He disappeared for a while, and then there's another guy that's dressed up as Phoenix Jones now. A different guy, right? Okay.
Different color scheme, but yes.
Oh, different color schemes.
Yeah, this one's wearing
persona.
like mostly magenta with like white stripes on there.
When she hears the description, she's like, "Oh, that's new. Phoenix Jones used to wear black and gold."
yeah, he said Phoenix was his
His
idol, I guess. Yeah, he looked up to him. So he is saying that since
Oh.
Phoenix is gone, he's going to take up the mantle for and keep this place safe. And I told him that we also investigate weird, spooky things, and that if he wants a job, he might be able to get it. I don't know. I told him I don't have the authority on that. So here's a card.
Great. I'll pass this along to Dirk later. You know we don't get paid, right? I mean, I get paid because I have a day job, but
Yeah,
for this, yeah, okay.
I
hope
know.
you don't tell him that you got paid.
no,
And
no,
looks
no. I
away.
told,
Get paid.
I told him I was an intern. Yeah. So
Okay. We don't want to misinform. That would be bad.
yes.
Okay.
Alright.
So we have an idea of what we're dealing with. Now we have to think about how.
Or better yet, where? Beneath your feet, and you look down into the manhole.
Well, maybe I know
we
you just
already know the
told
where
me-
if it's down there, right?
and I know
Oh.
you said not to use it too much, but we are in an alley, and I could.
Oh, we're already in the alley. I thought we were
Yeah.
still like above ground.
Well, I mean,
I
yeah,
thought-
you're still up on
Okay.
on the surface streets in the alley. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Also-
So we're not in the sewers yet. Okay.
No, yeah,
No.
you're standing around the manhole in the alley.
Yes.
I'm going to use another move of mine.
Okay.
Called it's called Tune In.
Okay.
You can attune your mind to a monster or a minion. I roll
Okay.
plus weird. On a 10 plus, I hold stuff. Hold 3. 7 and 9 hold 1 on a miss. The monster becomes aware of me, and I spend 1 hold to ask the keeper one of the following questions and gain +1 ongoing while acting on the answers.
Okay.
Um,
So
so
go ahead and roll plus weird for me.
yeah, perfect. Come on, give me a good thing. Ooh, lovely. Love to see this. 11 plus 2 is 13.
Oh, damn.
Well,
Um,
I think that covers 10 plus.
yeah. So, in this moment, Morgan tunes in differently from, I guess, on and the way
mhm.
you see Morgan. It's not about seeing with the eyes, it's more about feeling with the body. And as they kind of stand there and just be as still as possible, they kind of hold their hands out almost like they're about to do a lovely like marionette puppetry shadow work in front of them, and you just see like their hands just slowly like floating and pulling as they tune in to the monster. So I get to ask 3 questions, right?
Yes, on 10 plus, you get 3. So,
Okay. The questions are, let's see. Okay. I want to know, where is the creature right now?
okay.
Do you want me to ask all 3, or just take it at a time?
Uh, yeah, let's go and do all 3.
Okay. Where is the creature right now?
Okay.
Um, I want to know, what is it planning to do right now?
Okay.
And then I want to know, who is it going to attack next? Those 3. Um,
Okay.
yeah. That,
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So, as you are trying to, as you're tuning into this and feeling it out, um, the first thing that you start tuning into is, what is it planning to do right now? And weirdly enough, like you've kind of tuned into creatures and monstrosities before, and there's always this sort of like feral hunger to it, right? Like not really a clear thought process to it, right? It's not,
yeah.
oh, I should go get myself something to eat. It's just like food, or, like very simple. When you tune into this one here in the middle of the day, you get, oh, I should really go get something to eat. Like, straight up, very reasoned, very normal. Um, as far as where it is right now, again, sort of tuning into this, it's, you're having a hard time getting like an exact like cross-sectional, like, boom, it's right here, right? It's not quite a pin, unfortunately. It's
Yeah.
not share your location, but it's in Uwajimaya somewhere.
Okay.
Like, it's just in there from what you can tell. And who is it going to attack next, right? That was your question.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. With that one, you do see a very flamboyantly dressed person in a
Okay.
very ruffly shirt with a very tight vest with long tails on it and slacks, and strawberry
Okay.
blonde hair down to the shoulders, which you
Okay.
don't recognize.
Yeah.
But if you
Okay.
explain, somebody else may recognize.
Yeah. So in this moment, as you see me kind of like doing a interesting marionette to no marionettes there, um, as the first questions gets answered, you'll see that like my wrist kind of just moves really quickly as another like ethereal string is pulled, and the air kind of just turns a weird static for a moment and vibrates. And I just suddenly monotonely just go, they're hungry, they're getting something to eat right now, but it's not primal. It's just a normal hunger like me, any one of us would have. And then as they feel the other thing of the next question of where are they, um, you see that this time the other arm goes into the other direction and points towards Ujamaya and says, Morgan goes, they're there in the food space, Ujamaya. somewhere there. And then the final answer, as that third one is pulled, both their hands drop, and then they just go slack, and then they just stare, like disassociating into space, and they say, "They're going to attack someone that looks flamboyantly dressed, strawberry blonde hair, ruffled shirt. I don't know who they are, but they're the next target." And
Bess?
then they like is pulled back, and it comes back into the moment of, so yeah, what happened? That I think I found them.
Were they wearing a vest?
Yes, they were. They were like very fancy. They had like slacks on, a vest, a really roughly dressed. They had like curly strawberry blonde hair. Um,
And Hector will like stop, like hand up, and look at Carmen and go, "Kira, the tea shop," and he'll turn and start heading that way.
Oh no! I immediately follow Hector.
what?
And-
Who?
And I think who is a great place to end for our first session since we are at
Alright.
11. Um, so fantastic. We have one last order of business here. So, Monster of the Week has this fun mechanic where at the end of every session, we have 4 questions we ask, and you will get experience based on those questions. So, first question is, did we conclude the current mystery?
no.
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 Still pretty active. Did we save someone from certain death or worse?
We are about to.
Yeah,
You're on
not
your
yet.
way, but not yet. Did
God
we
damn
learn
it.
something new and important about the world?
Yes.
I think so.
identified-
You know.
I learned
Uh,
about superheroes. In
We learned about
Seattle.
superheroes. And we learned
the
about
creature.
the
The
creature.
creature that's just
Jimmy
hanging out
Sparks
with no
and
body.
the creature.
Yeah.
Very
so that's-
important information.
Yep. So that's
Fun.
one. And our last one, did we learn something new and important about one of the hunters? And I would say yes. We've gotten like general backstory stuff from everybody today. So that is 2. So with these, if you get 1 or 2 yes answers, we get 1 experience. And then if you get 3 or 4, you get 2 experience. So
Oh.
Okay.
you get 1 more experience.
So we're at 4
you are
total
at
so far.
4 total. So you are about
Yeah.
halfway to your next level, your next advancement, which is very exciting. Yes.
All
That
right.
will bring us to the end of the night. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Let's do one last round of outros here before we go. So let's start with the person who I think has found the most spooky things, Nikki.
Hello, everyone. I am Nick, and you can find me on social media as NixNat1 with the number 1 on like Twitter, Instagram, and wherever else that I might eventually appear in when things eventually happen to Twitter and I can no longer use it. And you can find me on Twitch over at DA Dungeon, where we are playing through a D&D game of Dragon of Icespire Peak, but with a twist. Because we're doing a random DM's challenge where at the end of each of our session, we will roll a dice to determine which of the other player will become the new DM, and then they will play the story from the point of view of their character and see how that changes the story and the dynamics of the party. And so our next game will be on the 25th of April. Actually, just 5 hours before this, so just take this time slot. Minus 7 hours. And yep, that is the time that we'll be playing on the 25th of April for session 2.
Go
Oh,
ahead
and
and
I'll
launch yeah.
DJ.
Perfect.
Yeah. Again, you can find me mostly on Twitter. I don't refer to it as X because no. At DJ_KQ. And if you're looking for more fun TTRPG shenanigans, I recently just joined the leadership team for a podcast called The Queer XP or Experience. You can listen to me, among many other folks, play fun one-shots, talk about many things, and really center the queer experience in tabletop gaming and what does that mean. So it is a delight, and it is, I think 2 of the games I played in have been some of the most unhinged delights that I've done. And we'll go to Ian next.
Hi, my name is Ian DePriest. You can find me on, literally the internet. It's just search Ian DePriest. It sounds like it spells like it sounds. On Twitter, it's Ian LDP. Yeah, I just finished a short little campaign on Feywild and Out's channel, their Twitch channel called Dad's Rock. We were dads playing D&D, going to a rock show. We're gonna put the finale out soon on YouTube soon. But yeah, that's me. And last but not least, Anne.
Hi, I'm Anne. You can find me on Twitter at XO_girlwonder. I do this on the internet. I play games with cool people. Just follow me on Twitter if you're curious about the games that I am in. There are too many of them to mention in this outro. Have a good night. Thank you for watching.
And I am Devin once again. You can find me here. I do this, and I do the D&D game. I don't do much else. If you really want to follow me, technically I'm Grey Wolf Moon, Grey_Wolf_Moon on Twitter. I just repost stuff about this. I do nothing else. So follow me if you like. I can't promise it'll be exciting, but I do encourage you to go check out everybody else here. They're all wonderful. I've listened and watched their stuff, and it is fantastic. Heavily encouraged. But for now, that will be the end of our stream. Thank you so much for tuning in, and join us again next week, where we will try to save a very sarcastic, kind of dickish person. Bye-bye.
Bye.